Hello, lovely individuals. Hello, money makers. I want to talk to you all about Bitcoin, XRP, and the crypto economy. Are we going to have a fun Sunday or a lazy Sunday? We'll speak about what's going on with Trump's bill to spend money. Is that why the market isn't moving? James Wynn is back. Who do you think is back? Here I am again. James is back. Let someone know. Is he going to have another crazy ride? Or is the market going to kick him out as it did last time? We'll talk about that and the dangers of what he's doing. And one of the countries that adores XRP is back on top in XRP. Let me clarify. All I want from you is a pretty grin to send forth positive feelings. Hit that like button, because it's free on Sundays. We should attempt to get 2,500 people to like this video. I'm going to have my coffee. I'll give you a minute to accomplish that. You can also listen to some ASMR. Don't forget that I'll never tell you to purchase, sell, or hold. Very, very important. Let's get started, but always conduct your own research and not financial advice. XRP is worth $2.18 right now. So, in short, not much has changed since yesterday. You can see that after the sell-off on the tourist news, and then the Ripple news, we went back up, closed the sell-off, and now we're basically consolidating. This isn't just XRP. Bitcoin has also been going up and down over the same time span. I don't sure whether you can see this well on the phone, but I hope you can. Many of you watch on mobile phones. This is from Binance, but have a look at Bitcoin. You could say that these are like dash lines. This means that for 5, 6, or 7 minutes, the price of Bitcoin doesn't change at all. This is quite strange for Bitcoin, and it could be a problem with Binance, but it's more likely that the trading volumes are so low that this is what we're seeing. Nothing is moving, and it's quite rare to see anything like Bitcoin. We can see. It could be a Binance issue where the volumes are really low on Binance, but Binance is normally the biggest exchange in the world. You can even see XRP here. We are looking at the chart for 1 hour. Very low amounts. I realize it's hard to see on the phone. But as you can see, the volumes are really low, so there's not much going on. Isn't that right? This is the XRP graph, and you can see that XRP doesn't have those dashed lines. So this is a pretty strange scenario for anyone. It is linked to Bitcoin and XRP, so, it's the same pair as Tether. A really strange and unusual situation. And this is, one of the reasons why the market is kind of stuck. There's not a lot of money pouring in. It's fine. This kind of thing happens. It's a part of the game, it's part of the trip. And we learn how to handle these kinds of weekends and weeks in the markets. I spotted this meme. This is how long your bank has kept XRP. At first, this was Brad. Brad is now a middle-aged man. He was a youthful man before. That looks a lot like what my beard will look like when I grow it out. Is that right? There are red, black, and white hairs in my beard. I wonder how much of it is white at this time. I haven't let it grow out since 2020, so almost 5 years. And then it was still mostly red. I understand that when I was younger my hair was dark, like a brownish-blackish color, and my beard was red. So it was a strange circumstance, and I got made fun of for it, especially in the army when I let it grow out. But the market is once again in a wait-and-see mode. It could be because, summer sale in May and go away, and now folks are getting ready for the 4th of July. The school day is over. People are already going on holiday, flying around the world, and maybe having fun. But it could also be due of the big, magnificent bill that just passed the Senate. The Senate narrowly approves 51 to 49 votes to start talking about Trump's tax and spending cut plans. It goes back to the House once it passes the Senate and then goes to the White House. So the markets might be a little scared that this might go any way. Of course, the deadline for the tariffs is also coming up quickly, and it's already July 4th. Since it's a holiday, the politicians could not be working, so they don't have much time to make deals. That could explain why the market is a little weak right now. Please leave a comment below and tell me what you think is causing the lackluster action or low volatility. You know, there are always objects that are moving. We talked about this yesterday, There are some people who move. If you look at the day outside of Pudgy, some of them are 665. Meme coins that are very volatile go up and down a lot, but there's not a significant mover in the top 20. Solana went up 3.4%, but Solana went down 3.2%. It's been extremely very volatile, going up and down and up and down. So, it's going to be extremely intriguing to see what the market does next. This makes me think of South Korea. XRP is the most traded currency in South Korea, with over 95 million moved in 24 hours on up bids. In November and December, South Korea had a huge effect on the price of XRP. A lot of people forget that there was some trouble in the country with the president, which I think might have kept XRP from going even higher at the time. A lot of South Koreans were, I don't want to say scared, but they were unsure about what was going on with the president. There was a coup, and they said he done a lot of awful things. Would there be, And a lot of people sold because they were afraid that the Korean won might drop or have problems. And since then, the momentum has slowed down a bit, but now the South Koreans are starting to feel more sure of themselves again. The Korean exchange has the most traded asset right now. Will we see the South Koreans? It could be because of the news and the movement that made it go back up. On the one hand, there is positivity, but on the other hand, the markets are basically dull and not very active. And certainly the gap was bridged here, but there hasn't been much movement, so it will be really intriguing to see what happens. What do you think XRP will be worth in 10 years? 10 years ago today, Bitcoin was worth $250. Is that to say that XRP is going to have the same kind of run? Maybe. Not sure. Last night, I saw individuals posting videos with headlines like, XRP to 10,000 again. Shwaya shwaya. Is that right? Slowly, slowly. Let's have a look at where we can go first. Will XRP reach a new all-time high again? Isn't that right? Before we start saying that XRP will go to 10,000 again. Isn't that right? That's precisely what I think. We'll see what happens. James is back. He posted that all shorts are now closed. Remember that I told you last night that he was going to go short all of a sudden? Longs are going strong, but an hour later he says, I'm going short so Bitcoin can pump. Yes, this will work. Is that right? Is that right? So now he has a position worth $1 million and $1.5 million. I got it here. I forgot, so he let it out. Isn't it? He was making money, but now he's lost $700, and it's not the same kinds of jobs he was open to before. Remember, he had a lot of money. He had $37,000, which isn't a lot of money, but at the top, he had $100 million in this account. So now he's taking smaller bets, but he says, oh, maybe if I go do something, the market will do the opposite. So, is the market looking for James or major traders on Hyperliquid? Or is the market just moving where it wants to? That's the question. You can already see that people are keeping an eye on this. James Wynn is back and has opened a 40x leverage short position. The liquidation price is $1, $1, and $8.06. So if the market does move a little bit, he might lose everything here. But this is how the market is